Hello, we are so excited to be here today with two very special guests. We are gearing up for our annual Crystal Apple Awards banquet. It is a very exciting time. It's a time that we can all come together as a community and truly support the educators that have worked so hard, and even more so this past year with the pandemic. One special thing about this Crystal Apple Awards, it also was our last event that we were able to do live last year before restrictions really kicked in to protect the public. So it is delightful that we are able to move forward this year, a little different platform, but at least we can still honor the educators who work so tirelessly to change our future and create the youth of the future and make a difference in our lives. So I'm excited to introduce our winner from last year right here in our local community of Deltona from Pine Ridge High School, Mrs. Renee Lee Rogers.
Thank you.
Renee, please tell the community a little bit about yourself and what you do.
My pleasure. My name is Renee Lee Rogers, and I am glad to be here today. And I just want to tell you that I am Pine Ridge High School Healthcare Academy Director. I've been with Pine Ridge for 9 years now, and it's been a thrill being there with the Academy students and helping those students find their way in healthcare.
Wonderful. And we also have someone who has served tirelessly on the Education Committee for the DeLand Area Chamber of Commerce and Orange City Alliance to help put this program on throughout the year, along with the major Crystal Apple Awards banquet that we do, nominating teachers to win the award. We also have School of Excellence, and Marianne has been right there along the way for the whole thing. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce a 8-year committee member of this education committee, Mrs. Marianne Blair. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Please tell us what you do and what your job is with Volusia County Schools.
Absolutely. So I am a district specialist in the area of career and technical education, and I support the areas of business and arts AV. So our programs in the district could be digital media, multimedia design, television, digital television. So it's just really a great opportunity to work with teachers just like Renee in our district to help get our students ready for a job, inspired for a job that they might be interested in, or find a job that they're not interested in. They can change paths from high school into college. So it's really been a great year so far, and being able to support the committee is always a joy.
Thank you both for all that you do. What you give back to our community is, there is no amount of money or award that could be given for your tireless work. Renee, it was really exciting when the committee was voting last year and narrowing it down to just 4 top winners, but we were really just thrilled to nominate you and to see you win this award. What was your first reaction when you found out you were even nominated?
Oh, I was just humbled by the nomination. It was just, my principal has been very supportive of the program and myself, even with my growth in education, just building the academy up. He is definitely, and I was just very, very appreciative of the nomination.
That's wonderful. And when your name was called and the audience just went crazy, so you must be very well known in the teacher community and very excited to hear that you won this award. What was going through your mind? Did you expect to win? I know you take pride in all that you do.
Well, I was the last one called, so I was just, okay, is this going to be it? And my heart was just pounding, and I definitely wanted to do it for the kids. I wanted to win it for them, and just representing Pine Ridge High School altogether, and healthcare for sure. And being in career and technical education is something that I definitely am proud of, and it's important for the kids to get that experience. So I wanted to win it for just so many different reasons. And when my name was called, it was that last name. I was like, oh my gosh, my hands, heart going, palms sweating, but I was just very happy.
Yay, and we were also happy too. And tell me, what is your drive every day? What is your why? What gets you up and continue to give back to the community and support all these different organizations that you help and work with to really just support the youth?
Yeah, it is just that what you're saying, the youth, just making sure that once they leave high school, that they have some type of experience or some type of way to figure out what is going to be their why. It's not going to work every day is not a job. It's just I go and get to be able to sow and plant those seeds in those students' lives and to see them after, because once they're my student, they're always my student. They're, and to see them be successful afterwards is just so rewarding. And my passion is making sure that they know what's out there, giving them that exposure, whether it's healthcare or not. Want to make sure that they discover who they are and making sure that they know someone is behind them to support them all the way.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Marianne, do you have any questions for Renee, serving so long on the community?
Yes, absolutely. So I obviously knew that you were a phenomenal healthcare teacher, but it was exciting to read your application and all the other outreach programs that you're offering in your life. So what are you most proud of? Which outreach program?
Well, the Healthcare Academy, we try to reach out in different areas, obviously, with, giving them the exposure of American Red Cross. That program came about within a couple of years. We also, recently, my family and I, we just started to do helping the students after high school. Finding that way, because sometimes when they graduate, they're still trying to figure it out. So we want to hold their hand a little bit more. So we've, a couple of people and myself, we were just deciding that, we're going to reach out to them, continue to reach out to them. Even though they've graduated, we want to keep them going. So keep them motivated, keep touch base with their families, letting them know that they have the support system still even after graduation. So we are definitely planting that seed in the community even so.
That's outstanding. Deltona is so fortunate to have you in this community, honestly. It's what an impact you're making, and to know that you're following up after they graduate. That's a transitional time. I have a niece right now who's in college. She's going to Daytona State, and she is in her second year. She has no idea what she wants to do. She still doesn't have an idea. So they really are in that transitional state where they've been in school for 12 years, they've followed all the rules, they're an adult now, and keeping that. So that's wonderful to hear that. That's really
definitely my children actually inspired me and my husband to do that, because we realized, they don't have all the answers, and now they don't have to get up and go to lunch in first, second, and third period anymore. And now it's like you're throwing that all at them at one time. And sometimes the parents still need the help too, and they don't know where to turn to. So we just wanted to be that help for them.
That's outstanding. You say you do it for the youth. What did your students think when you won? Were they just as excited as you? I can't imagine the feedback you received.
We made videos of the apple. We started strutting around with the apple, and it was great. I tell them all the time, when they win, I win, and when I win, they win. So it's just how I want them to understand. It's not just about themselves. It's not just about me. It's about everybody. And that's why we always do even random act of kindness on campus. We've been trying to do that on campus with the staff members, not with the students, just building morale, and these type of things helps them to move forward. So
that's outstanding. Marianne, you have served so long on this education committee. What keeps you there? Why is this program so important to you?
It's really about what the teachers are doing beyond what they're doing in the classroom. We have phenomenal teachers that day in and day out are getting these students to pass those certifications or the statewide assessments, and so much stress, but they love what they're doing, and then they do even more. So it's inspiring to hear about the food kitchens that are done on campus, the clothing closets for the students who need them. And then outside of school, there's 5Ks that are run by teachers because there's a community need. So really highlighting that they're servants in their day job, but also in their personal life. It really every year brings light to what education is. It's not just an 8 to 5 or an 8 to 3. It's their life, which is amazing. And then being able to recognize the Danny Gainan School of Excellence and really highlighting those schools that have made academic gains, are involved in the community, and recognizing schools. They love having that time to have that accolade to really showcase what they're doing for the community of West Volusia and Orange City.
And I bet it makes a difference that, for them to see that the businesses are supporting them and that they're involved and engaged in education and making that a priority in their, packages, whether they sponsor money to help put on the program. It's great to see the community come together to do it. For just a minute, Marianne, will you share with our community what the Danny Gainan School of Excellence Award is and how that operates?
Absolutely. So we have, every year, we have 4 schools that we choose as a committee. We look at school grades and academic performance, if it's available. COVID year, we don't have school grades, but we did look at performance. We see what kind of events does the school put on beyond the school day. Are there math nights and science nights to help get the parents and the community engaged? And are they a part of the parades and the other events? Are there other programs that they're offering? And then just really acknowledging those schools and then making sure that each of those schools are really being a part of the community as a whole. And so as a committee, we choose 4. And then each quarter, roughly, we go and acknowledge that school, provide them a certificate and a little bit of money set aside so that they can do some nice things for their faculty, like a lunch or some food, because so much money in education is restricted to specific fund sources, and it's nice to have that to be able to give a donut Friday or a special little lunch for the teachers to acknowledge the hard work that they're doing.
That's wonderful. And they also have a banner they put out in front of the school the whole time they've received that award, and it just moves on. Our local mayor and commissioners are invited, and our board of directors is invited. So the teacher, the principal, and the leadership and the whole school really feels like it was an achievement on their end, and that they have the support of these local leaders, which is fantastic.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Danny Gainen himself is why we acknowledge this award that we offer. I had the privilege of knowing Danny when he was on the committee about 8 years ago. He was just a light in our community, just a servant and a servant's heart. And he really did support the education committee and what we stood for in the DeLand Area Chamber of Commerce. And to have him no longer with us, and when he passed, we did decide to change the name from just the School of Excellence to the Danny Gainen School of Excellence to really acknowledge his life and legacy that he left in DeLand.
And he's looking down on all of us and just smiling big that it's continuing and that we're continuing to recognize. Tell me, Renee, what would you say to the 2021 nominees, this year's nominees? Knowing what they've been through, what would you say to the nominees this year?
The nominees, every day we appreciate everything that you're doing. It has been such a different journey this year. And even if your name is not called, know that you are appreciated. We recognize, and I thank the Chamber for being there and recognizing us and knowing that we have them as a support system, but we appreciate you. Thank you for everything in the classroom, outside the classroom. We know it doesn't stop at the end of the day. It continues on after that and even on the weekends. And just to know that you are appreciated. Thank you.
That's awesome. And I'd like to hear from both of you. 2020 definitely had some challenges in many different ways, but certainly for teachers, you guys definitely put on all kinds of armor and just went forward, changed how we did things, historically for years, to creating new systems, being innovative. What was your biggest challenge in facing COVID and still maintaining high levels of education for your students?
Right, and I think particularly with the healthcare, we're a hands-on curriculum, and that has been a little difficult, but the kids have been so, they're just adapting, the teachers, and we're just trying to get the community involved. We do Zoom, team meetings as much as possible, reach out, and everybody's understands. They understand what we're going through, and we know that that's our future of healthcare. So they're trying to actually provide us with whatever we need. Advent Health, one of our biggest supporters, they provide what we need. We just, as a phone call away, email away, and we're just really appreciative. But the classroom, it does look different this year, but the kids are definitely adapting well.
And Marianne, from your perspective, what positive thing came out of this pandemic? I talked to many organizations and we lost so much of this, we weren't able to meet in person. I was just telling you girls that the hugging thing's a real struggle for me because I'm just from a big Italian family and you just hug everybody, and so it was a real struggle for me. What would you say was the positive gained out of this that you learned that actually benefited teachers for future use?
Sure, absolutely. I think really having that digital platform to start structuring their lectures, they were thrown into it when we were locked down because we had no other way to communicate with students unless they had packets and they were sent home. But I think it really helps them integrate technology. We now are moving into a one-to-one technology district, so having those devices is great, but also really integrating them in a meaningful way way, but still having the hands-on activities. I think it's great to keep that in mind. And I think we're a little bit healthier as a total culture, making sure hand washing is done appropriately and instructed in the way almost like you would to scrub in for a medical procedure, which is great. And I think as a whole, I think we'll be better for it. And just digital integration, I think, is really the best positive, as long as it's continually done in a way that helps support students and education, which I think we have done in Volusia County for sure.
Absolutely. And students, they're already so much more technologically advanced than someone my age. They just do it, they just know, they grew up on it, they were raised that way, so that they know. And I think you're right about that. I think that has definitely impacted the change. And would you concur with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's definitely made a difference. We are this year putting on the Crystal Apple Awards again. It's going to be a little different version. We are going to do a hybrid version where it'll be in person some, and we're just inviting the teacher and the principal. Typically we have a big crowd, up to 200 and some years, that all come with their friends and their family and their principal and whoever that can get away to come to the event. This year, we're limiting it to just the principal and the nominee so we can social distance properly and we can still put on the event without having to sacrifice the substance of what this event is. The event will be March 10th at 11:30 a.m. at the beautiful center at Deltona. We'll have a hybrid version and we'll also be on Facebook Live. So I do ask everyone to please tune in. And I just want to say that thank you to all of our educators in Volusia County, from whether you're in administration or in the cafeteria or behind the scenes or working in the classrooms, hands-on or on the field. You've gone through so much, and we just, on behalf of the Chamber, on behalf of the community, we thank you, we appreciate you, and these awards will continue. I think this year we're going to have almost 30 nominees. Is that correct, Marianne?
Yep.
And they're coming in, and they're ending, I think today is the last day to get those in. So we're excited to read about all those and see all the interest from everyone and what they're doing in the communities to make a difference. And we're most excited to share it with you. I just want to thank you, Renee, for being here. I want to thank you for all that you do. Is there anything you'd like to share with the community before we wrap up?
Oh, well, I just want to thank you, and again, thank the Chamber and all that room was filled with a lot of teachers with a lot of talent and intelligence, and I just thank the opportunity of being there, and good luck to the nominees.
Yes, and Marianne, any words of wisdom for our community and for the teachers and the nominees this year?
Absolutely. Well, I will have to tell you that we have one of our shining stars at University High School who will be there with some students to film to make sure that this is made possible.
Please share that, yes.
Yes, so Brian Kells over at University High School and some of his students in digital video will be there to film and be a part of that process. So that's awesome. Always an opportunity to bring students in to get real life opportunities to do things is great, but also just thanking the teachers for everything they do. I'm always inspired and continually motivated to be a part of this committee because of what they do every day. So thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank our community for supporting this event. I want to thank our committee members who worked so hard to put this on. And I want to thank our executive director of the Chamber, Janet Wilson, and our board of directors president, Rob Doan, for keeping this program alive, for continuing its importance. And again, thank you to all the teachers who participate every day in changing the lives of our future, making a difference and impacting tomorrow for us.